We've finally gotten the full official information of the stats that Aemeath's weapon provides. So in today's video, I'll be diving deeper into the pull value of this weapon by analyzing how it easily synergizes with Aemeath using the kit information that was provided earlier to give you guys an idea of what you should expect from her gameplay and build. Then we'll dive into which characters can benefit from this weapon from a free-to-play perspective, other weapon options available, and finally my pull recommendations for free-to-play and low spenders. For the stats, she's rocking a 24.3% crit rate with a well-balanced base attack of 587. The high base attack is very good since it's confirmed that she's a dedicated main damage dealer from her combat role. The 24.3% crit rate should not be an issue because her best-in-slot echo set called the Trailblazing Star should provide 20% crit rate just like for Lover's and Galburna's echo set. Judging by the recent shift in kit design by the devs after version 2.0, where all units have crit rate on their skill tree, with the exception of Galburna and Chacona, Aemeath will most likely have crit rate on her skill tree as well, which fits her pretty nicely as a main damage dealer. Characters with crit rate on their skill tree can easily reach at least 70% total crit rate like my Carlotta build right here. So if we add the 20% crit rate from the Trailblazing Star, you should be able to get a total of 90% crit rate without any help from Showkeeper, which makes her synergize with Monnier even more if you have her signature weapon to boost her crit damage. Now let's get into the passives. Kuro have decided to go back to the attribute damage bonuses on weapon passives, which is better than attack percentage for Aemeath in particular because her signature weapon offers a very high base attack, and I hope it stays this way for main damage dealers in the future. The second passive will allow any damage she does that is considered as liberation damage to ignore 32% of the enemy's defense and 10% fusion resistance for 8 seconds after applying Tune Rupture Shifting or Fusion Burst on the enemy, which is pretty huge. She gets this buff right after an intro skill because her intro applies Tune Rupture Shifting and Fusion Burst according to her kit information, and she can always refresh the buffs with basic attack stage 3 and 4 in the Aemeath form and the mech form as well. Hence, refreshing the weapon buffs should not be a problem at all, regardless of how you choose to play her while she's on the field. In terms of synergy with other units, no one else aside from Aemeath can utilize the weapon passive due to the strict condition of applying Tune Rupture Shifting or Fusion Burst. But if Kuro decides to make more units who synergize with off-tune mechanics, it will be a bit more versatile for sword units that deals liberation damage or have the fusion attribute. So consider it as a crit rate statistic for now if you plan to slap it on any other sword unit on your account. For her weapon alternatives, first recommendation will be Changli's signature weapon. The passive is useless here, but this weapon can perform better than Emerald of Genesis if you run a crit damage 4-cost echo to get high crit damage. This is made possible because of the additional crit rates that you can get from the Trailblazing Star Echo Sonata effect, but you have to highly optimize her build to get high crit rate rolls in addition to crit damage, so I don't really recommend it if you cannot reach at least 70% total crit rate when using this weapon. Second recommendation will be Emerald of Genesis. It has a high base attack with a decent crit rate that any sword DBS unit can appreciate. She can also easily trigger all the stacks from the weapon passive because of her normal skill, which she uses to change forms, and the enhanced one that she uses to cast her Forte circuit. Third recommendation will be Feather Edge. It has a low crit rate substat and a low base attack, so R1 Emerald of Genesis should still perform better in terms of damage output. It's also locked behind the Battle Pass, and I wouldn't even recommend you to spend money on the Battle Pass just to get this weapon. If you're new to the game, focus on getting at least one copy of Emerald of Genesis if you cannot afford her signature weapon. Now here are my pull recommendations. If you're free to play and cannot afford to get her and her weapon, skip the weapon if you have at least Monnier to pair her with Aemeath. This part of her kit requires you to tune break the enemy to trigger Tune Rupture damage and obtain Rupture's Trail stacks before you start doing damage with Aemeath's Forte skill or the enhanced skill, which will receive a 4% additional damage multiplier per the number of Rupture's Trail stacks on the enemy. And Monnier can make sure that you can always tune break the enemy early to get those Rapturous Trail stacks before you start doing damage with Aemeath due to Monye's 50% off-tune build-up rate that she provides to all teammates. But let's say you have Linné but no Monye on your account. Linné can provide tune break boost to increase the tune rupture damage that Aemeath can do from the enhanced skill of her Forte circuit, but you won't be able to tune break the enemy fast enough before Aemeath starts doing damage. So if you're free to play or low spender and you fall into that category, make sure to get her weapon. If you don't have both Monye and Linné on your account, it heavily incentivizes you to choose the Fusion Burst Resonance mode, but we don't have any unit that can apply Fusion Burst alongside Aemeath. And the less Fusion Trail stacks she has, the less damage you'll do from the Fusion Burst Explosion after using her enhanced skill, leading to more DPS loss. So if you find yourself in that situation, it's better to pull for the weapon for better damage output. If you're confused about the terms that I used, including Fusion Trail and Rapturous Trail, check out this video where I analyzed her entire kit to help you choose the right team comps depending on the type of account that you have. I hope this makes things a bit easier for free-to-play and low spenders, because this patch will milk us for all the money that we have, since Luke is also coming in the second phase and he'll most likely be a DPS as well. That'll be all for Aemeath's weapon pull value breakdown. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel because it's free and you can always change your mind. Our Discord link will be in the pinned comment if you're having any issues with the game, help with your build, or you just want a place to chill or hang out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.